This is a big one, and I've asked a project executive that I respected a lot what the answer to this one is, but I'm going to ask you. When you think about the real objective of a project manager, going back to that loop, what is their actual mission, so that we can bring it home for the listeners?
Okay, so the actual mission is
Yeah.
I'd go back to the book by Patrick Lencioni, Five Dysfunctions of a Team, and a quote in there that says, if you could get all of the people in an organisation rowing in the same direction, you could dominate any industry, any market, under any conditions, at any time. If you could get everyone, the PM's job is to get everyone headed in the same direction. If he could do that, you'll build any project under any circumstances, ever gets thrown at you at any time. That's my opinion. In my opinion, that is his number one job.
I love that, and kudos to you for pronouncing his name right. I always get that wrong.
I took a lot of practice to get that right, especially for an
Yeah,
Aussie.
because
Did take a bit of practice to get that right, especially for an Aussie construction worker like me. So, number one question today that I want you to answer in the comment below. Where does work start fast but stall before it finishes? We're great at starting things. And we get this lady wrote this book, Alet Fishback. Hope to hell I've pronounced that correctly. Okay, she's going to explain one part of the puzzle, or the driver behind how we set what I believe takt times and goals to keep people on track. To me, that is the PM's number one job. How do you get everyone on the same page? Once we've got them there, how do we keep them on it? In fact, that's the training that I'm going to run tomorrow. We're going to have a look at that. How there's effects, how much effect is having on us, on your projects, where it actually all moves from down here, which is the shit show corner, chaos, and everyone on their own adventure, up to how do we get to on the same page and executing flawlessly. Have a look at a bit of a timeline, how we use what we're going to learn from OLED to keep everyone on track, how we do it on a day-to-day basis, and why it's extremely important to your project. If you want to catch tomorrow's live training on that, comment after you comment on that, where does work start, stall before it finishes. Comment below, same page, live, and I'll make sure you get it. All right, this is super interesting. I'll tell you this lady's credentials afterwards, just so that you know that you need to listen to her, and you need to get yourself a copy of this book. Get it done. In the construction industry, I hear a lot of people say, oh, we get it done, we make shit happen. No, they're really good at getting stuff started, but finishing it is a completely different ballgame. You'll hear all sorts of quotes like the last 10% takes the longest, all these sorts of things. That's because we never fucking finish anything properly in the first place. The get it done crowd, and I was one of them, just want to move quick. Oh, I've got the bulk of it done, they've just got to finish it off. That's because, you know why they're always saying that? Because the hardest bit is finishing it off. Stay motivated and finishing it off. But there is a formula that we can use to get people to finish things off. Listen to this.
We are motivated when we start something. We are motivated when we are about to finish. In the middle is when we lose sight of why we do what we do, and our motivation is on the decline. The solution, keep middle short. Annual saving goal is too hard, too much time that is in the middle of the year. Maybe set a monthly saving goal. A monthly exercise goal is probably too long. A weekly exercise goal means that there is a short middle, there's a beginning and end, and just a few days that are in the middle, and that makes it easier for people. So keep middle short.
Keep the middle short. We're motivated at the start and we are motivated at the end. Now, of course, it has gone and done that to me. I want to show you her LinkedIn profile so you can go and follow her and get yourself a copy of the book. Come on. Of course, I can't find it now. Anyway, I will find that for you and poke it there. She is a let me read from the front of the book. Ayla Fishbach is a leading expert on motivation. Her research has consistently produced insights that are both surprising and useful. In this engaging book, she shows what it takes to close the gap between your intentions and your actions. She's actually a professor, I forget where, I think it's Chicago. Motivation is her game, and she is super smart at it. There's a TED talk that goes with it as well. How do we keep, this is one thing I'm going to run through tomorrow, how do we keep the middle as short as possible? So if we look at it, you'll hear me speak to a lot. Let me just get rid of that so you can actually see what I'm doing here. About takt time. We'll talk about takt time tomorrow. It's all about sequencing, but we can also keep these, and we're doing a podcast with Jason Schroeder soon. We've been working on the 12 causes of project failure. Number 4, funnily enough, is poor scheduling. Jason is an absolute guru on takt planning. Okay. This is what's called a takt wagon, which is like a parcel of work package, if you want to call it. I believe, going off Ayla's theory there, or not theory, what she knows is correct. We're saying that we dip in the middle. If we looked at all of our work, splitting it up, and short-term milestones, and instead of putting float in the schedule, and this is one thing that I'll be talking to when we do talk about that, float's just a mechanism to let people procrastinate. That's all it is. So that's day 1, and black is day 2. So we split our work week up into 2-day takt wagons. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. One day I always leave as a buffer, which I tend to use. The buffer day I tend to have on fly in, fly out day. So it's generally Tuesday on construction for some reason. It just seems to work that way. Most of the jobs that I've been on, in and out on Tuesday. So it'll be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday, Monday, and then have your buffer day in there where you catch up the stuff that didn't quite land, okay? So if that's day 1, that's day 2. We split each day up into 3 sessions. So we've got the morning, between morning and lunch, lunch and knock off. So here, we've got the morning and lunch, lunch and knock off. The time when we're least productive, from my experience walking around in the paddock, is this area in here. Last, which tend to be middles, mornings, have a good run. Between smoke and lunch is the best part of the day. That's when we get most of the things in there happen in that period just there. If we say the middle is where our motivation dips, we keep it to a 2-day takt time, and motivation dip is in what's already, I believe, our slowest 2 parts of the day, which is the end of the shift and the start of the next one. So we've contained that motivation dip to there. Now, everyone's going to howl me down. You can't do that. It takes us weeks to do jobs sometimes, blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. You can still split your packages up into little milestones for people to be able to hit. Put those 3 flanges on. You've got 15 pipe spools to go in. That would be an example someone give me. We're running a pipe from the compressor way over up to the pipe rack. Split it up. Okay, day 1, day 2. We need to get those first cut spools set up in there. 3, 4, scaffolders need to get in there and do that. 5, 6, need to start getting the pipe welders in there. Blah, blah, blah. We can have short, small milestones in there to keep everyone engaged and motivated, so we don't have a crew sitting up in the back corner for a week doing sweet fuck all because they think they've got plenty of time, or no one's really watching what's going on and how they are tracking, whether they are motivated or on track or not. Anyway, that's going to be part of tomorrow's training. If you want to get in on that, and it's part of what I do when I work with teams, project teams. That's what I do, basically. Help them get on the same page, and then how do we keep them on it every single day? Want to know more about how that works? Just reach out with a call to action, it's like project reset program. Ask me about that. Now that otherwise, take it over me because I wave my hands around. Hey, just had a few dramas here today. I took over because I was waving my hands around. Thought I was giving it a signal to zoom in when I wasn't. All right, ORCA time. Don't forget that question. How long is it going to take to come up? It takes a while to come up sometimes. Where does work start but stall before it finishes? Let's do our ORCA. I even had this drama, this middle section. I'm having it at the moment. So we're on day 53 of 90 of these ORCA lives. You would think by the time, and everyone used to say, 21 days to a habit. Bullshit, 21 days to a habit. That's a pure, utter myth that someone dreamed up with. I forget what it's actually tied to, but it's not based on any science or anything like that. They know from repetitions with fighter pilots and like flight simulators and stuff like that, neural pathway starts to burn in somewhere, what we call a habit, what we call automatic, burns in somewhere between 61 to 65 reps, but it is depending on the level of complexity of the task that you're trying to set as a habit. So there's no hard and fast rule, and it doesn't take into account, of course, what Eilet's talking about there with motivation and those dips that we have, whether we think we're highly motivated or how disciplined we fucking tell ourselves we all are, and all the rest of it. I'm in the middle of 90 days, so if we picked 45's the midpoint, probably 10 either side of 45 is the danger period from me. So somewhere from about 35 through to 65. Because I was just looking at it this morning and I'm going, fuck, I've done 53 of these. I've done so many of them and I'm still a long way from 90. It feels like I'm still a long way from 90 in a row. I should have split it up a bit more. I should have had smaller, what Anne-Marie Lecomte calls packs, tiny packs. We'll have a look at that tomorrow as well. Enough nonsense. Let's get on with our daily ORCA, because we said this is what we're going to do, so this is what we do. The old MJ thing. Once I made a decision, never thought about it again. Better stop that, because otherwise he's going to think I'm talking to him and I'm not, and then he's going to get confused. So we'll get rid of that. New shift. It is Thursday the 15th of January 2026. Don't forget, you haven't answered that question below. Where does work start but stall before it finishes? Anywhere where there's a check sheet or a, what do you call it? A QA sheet to be done. Boys are good at throwing stuff up. We love seeing progress, well, what we call progress. The easy stuff, the show steal. You know the guys that throw show steal.
Hey, what's up? Feel free to ask me about anything.
No, I don't want you. Fat fingers. This is a home ORCA. He doesn't want to know about my fingers, my flat fingers or my fat fingers. Validate format. Seriously, it's a home ORCA. He's a bit pedantic, this one. He likes everything to be exactly right. I think he's OCD. Yesterday's 3 must-do tasks, day 52. Verify full kit before first task. That's bone in now. I just do that. I actually pull my AI wingman up and say, hey, why haven't we verified full kit yet? What a physical Kanban ticket before starting execution. Yep. 1 visible growth action tied to the school games. Post outreach. So I've set up in school, done a few of those, but I've got a session in there called the Sheet Show Sunday session as well. It's not me teaching anything. I'm happy to answer questions. You want to bring them along, but it's just a place to stop, have a chat and say, what's this all about? Or I don't understand this, or this is not working on our site. How do you do this, Beanie? Or just come along and throw some ideas in or ask questions, whatever. That's in school. School.com, you see the link down there in the bottom right hand corner. School.com/Scrum. All 3 tasks were completed. Finish this and then we'll go into the Flex Wingman. I did start building a new Flex Wing. I've got a new Flex Wingman that I have built on Claude. apparently it's actually better for this. I prefer this because I can speak to it. Claude, you got to type in what you're doing. Gonna make some tweaks on it. I was playing with it today. I was hoping to have a second version 1.1 today, but didn't quite happen. Anyway, we had technical difficulties. I know. That's shock horror. You won't believe that I had technical difficulties. Objective today. State one objective. One objective only. Concrete, human, binary. What was today's objective? Today's objective was just to keep the ORCA streak alive, do this live, and make sure that I had some more interaction in the school community. It's not like they've got two things in there. I'll say there's only one. You can only have one objective. But that's what we want. I want him to be pulling me up. Binary factual. Was the objective achieved? I'm going to pull you up right there. So you're supposed to succinctly sum up the objective. And I gave you two of them and you didn't even pull me up. Why? What should you right to pull me up? That was a process enforcement miss on my side. Here's a clean diagnosis and a fix. Objective has a hard rule. One objective only. You stated two objectives. Yes, I did. Keep the ORCA streak alive. Increase interaction in the school community. At that moment, I should have interrupted immediately and forced a reduction to one. I didn't. That's a violation of ORCA discipline. It certainly is. Why I missed it. It's not an excuse, just a cause. It implicitly treated keep ORCA streak alive as context. Interaction with the school community as the objective. But ORCA does not allow interpretation. It requires explicit enforcement, not adherence. So the miss is on me, not you. How this lot going forward? We reinforce an existing rule. We don't invent a new one. If more than one objective is stated, ORCA must stop, force a single objective rewrite before proceeding. No summarising, no choosing for you, no letting it slide. I'll interrupt next time, correcting this lesson cleanly. We rewind to one step only. Choose one objective that actually governed today. State it clearly and singularly, then we proceed. What was today's one objective? Today's one objective was to keep the ORCA streak alive. Apparently Claude's better at keeping on track with that, but I have new system for creating these. I haven't updated this one yet, and I probably won't update this one, but when I build new ORCA Wingman I will. It's something called prompt wrangling that I just learnt the other day that the Wingman's built off. Yes, it was. But for now, this is good enough for what we're doing. Keep us on track and get us to hit our first 90 days. If you hit 90 days, if you did this for 90 days on your site, genuinely did it, stopped and run through this process, even if you're using the AI, and you were down in this corner down here where you had absolute chaos and everyone was choosing their own adventure, you would be moving up into this corner simply by running this process. People get stuck on not being able to do one thing or relying on just one thing. They want to change 100 things at once. You don't change 100 things, you change one thing. If I come on site and work with the team on site, the first thing I'm going to do, and the reason why I do ORCA before Flex, although I don't even know whether that's the correct way around, is because most people have, although they're not doing it particularly well, some sort of a planning process in place. Flex is way better than what they're currently doing, no doubt. But I can go on any site in Australia or to any construction team, ask them, what's your debrief like at the end of the day? They won't have one. You might have a quick, does everyone feel okay? No one's got anything to report. Anything, injuries to report at the end of the shift or whatever it is, which is just a box ticking exercise. But there's no one that's running an actual ORCA process like this. Never seen it done in all my years in construction, and yet it is the most powerful thing that you can actually do. Identify what created the result. A lot of behaviours are pretty much locked now. I write my Kanban ticket. I have my day planned before I start. Decisions are minimal because I know what my big ticket item is that I'm want to win the school games. So all my decisions are made on, is it going to help me win the school games or is it not? Constraints removed. I'm working on learning to use Claude so that we can refine these processes even further and slowly but surely build wingmen that do the day-to-day of this, so that you're not relying on a person to turn up and run it or remember it or all the rest of it, but they've got an actual tool that they just hit the button and away it goes. Wingman used, yes, I use wingman all the time in everything that I'm doing. One in particular that I've used today is the one that is building the ORCA wingman. So there's a wingman that's actually building the prompt to build the wingman. That would be where if stuff went wrong, where it didn't go to plan, we'd call it out in the causes there. Benny didn't write the ticket, or the person who was supposed to write the Kanban ticket didn't write the Kanban ticket on the board, put it up on the board, and then we'd go, all right, why'd that happen? And then we put some actions in place. All right, so one person had to get the sticky notes and the Sharpie and write a ticket as soon as this meeting's left every day. Who is the single point of accountability for that? Bang, done. Set tomorrow's three must-do actions. Verify full kit, write a physical Kanban ticket, complete one visible growth or continuity action tied to the school games. Daily execution index based on, so we've got 3 out of 3. Not today. They completed 53 and 90 closed. Orchestrating takt. I just put my 3 tasks down the bottom of the list, which I always go and check. All right, let's hit the flex wingman tool. New shift. It is Thursday the 15th of January 2026. Let's see if this one stays on track. Should ask me, was ORCA completed? Yes, it's just been completed. Good, ORCA ran, we proceed. Daily flex check, binary only. Answer yes to, or no to each. Did one LinkedIn live happen yesterday? Did one LinkedIn image post go up yesterday? 1 equals yes, 2 equals yes. So these would be your top 3 things. Did the 500-ton crane move from the northeast corner to the southwest corner yesterday? That was supposed to happen. Did it happen? Did it not? Good, both actions executed, day counted. Flex, today's execution, no planning. Mission unchanged, rules changed. For today, Thursday, 1 LinkedIn live, 1 LinkedIn image post, verbal call to action spoken at the live. Image post must include DM call to action. YouTube fallback only if eCam fails. Today's LinkedIn live will go out before 6 p.m. What was the call to action again that I have to do it during the live? So we don't go through a full flex planning process. We do it for, I've got it set out a week at the moment, so it'll take me through the 6 steps, start of the week. And then daily it'll just check. Have I done my planning? Have I not? All right. So, if you watch the start of the video, know that the PM's key job is to get everyone on the same page. Then we need to keep the little buggers there. That's our bit. You want help with that? Or your project needs a reset. If you want the project reset link, just message me those words, project reset link, and I'll DM you the link so you can have a look at it, see whether you think it might be a good fit for you or not. I'm supposed to say that once mid-live and once before you end. I think I've done enough call to actions. And don't forget about that questionnaire. Where does work start fast but stall before it finishes. Anyway, take that, use it, make it a great week. And I'll play this little clip. Is from a podcast called Lean Made Simple. It's talking to 3 guys who are probably some of the foremost experts on lean in the world. I want you to listen to the last quote before it finishes. Something along the lines of tools and techniques, that's the easy bit. It's keeping your leaders aligned, motivated, and able to sustain it. That is your real challenge. Getting people on the same page. Keep little buggers on there. Speak soon.
We're here with 3 powerhouses in the lean sector.
Some people saved money, made more profit. Recently, we've had a company who saved 8 weeks of production time.
We need to put them in the best position to survive, be flexible, be productive, be agile.
There's no substitute for direct observation. To see the turnaround of his company is just mind-blowing.
Tools and technique, that's the easy bit. It's getting your leaders engaged, motivated, and being able to sustain it. That's the real challenge.